Esteemed ministers and deputy ministers, Your Excellencies, esteemed representatives of ministries and agencies, esteemed representatives of international organizations, of youth and civil organizations, and of local and regional governments, dear colleagues from academia, and dear global critical friends. What a joy to be together today and to reflect on global learning. Our sincere thanks to our Irish host, dear Minister Prof, and to our co-chair from Luxembourg, dear Minister Fayot. On behalf of GE, the convening organization of this Congress and the facilitator of the whole declaration process, the warmest of welcomes to the beautiful city of Dublin. Many of you have been involved over the past 18 months in the development of the new declaration on global learning we developed together. You are very welcome, and we thank you and appreciate the work of all of you that brought us to this day. What brings us together is our concern that we want to ensure quality global education for all people in Europe. Education that opens people's eyes to the causes of injustice, local and global, and encourage us to get involved to learn how to change, and that is global education. Sustainability can only be reached by an understanding of fair and social just global commitments. To understand that we are not only related to our families, to our neighbors, and to our nations, however, that we are globally interconnected humans in our self-understanding needs a form of social thinking which requires learning and enlightenment. The climate crisis and other global challenges such as social injustice and poverty can only be solved with people having understood this interconnectivity. This urgent instrumentality of global learning is crucial in order to achieve the sustainable development goals. But beyond, global learning has its dignity in every learning process of every single person encountering the fearless self-efficacy of a global worldview, the enrichment by a change of perspective, the support of having learned to deal with contingency, and the intellectual and emotional challenge to master the complexities of the world. In 2001, when 6 ministries founded GE, and in the following year when the Maastricht Declaration was launched, the urgency of global learning was already evident. Since this time, the reflection of the particular global dimension of reaching sustainability, the awareness of racism and North-South paternalism, and the understanding of the structures of othering and social exclusion have become much more elaborated. On the one hand side, it is shameful that even after 20 years of involvement in this field, a commitment is still required. On the other hand, and this side predominates, it is amazing what has been achieved during this time. Global learning is no longer a niche of some NGOs, but has got mainstreamed in curricula, in funding procedures, and in national and regional policies. Global learning is more and more branching out into non-formal and informal learning sectors, such as youth organizations, and it becomes a common global learning task in overcoming paternalism and supremacy all over the world. GE, the Global Education Network Europe, now has grown to include over 50 ministries, agencies, and other national bodies from over 25 countries in Europe. Last year, GE brought together over 250 policymakers and stakeholders from across Europe to launch a process leading to the development of a new European Declaration on Global Education to 2050. The new Dublin Declaration will provide commitments regarding the role of education in contributing to international solidarity, human rights, global social justice, sustainability, and peace. With this Congress and Declaration, we are here to move global education up the ladder of priority. And thank you for your presence here, as we believe that this is crucial for the long-term future of people and of the planet. When in GE we embarked on leading this journey towards a new declaration, we were intent on ensuring that while led by policymakers and signed off by governments, it would have strong engagement with stakeholders throughout. We are very grateful for stakeholders from youth organizations, the civil society, local and regional governments, academia, and global critical friends who, together with international organizations, have joined us in this journey to create a new declaration. Global education aims to end all forms of colonialism in thinking and in doing. We are very conscious that as we gather here today, we are dealing with the immediate effects of a colonial war waged against our neighbors in Ukraine. Therefore, we want to particularly welcome our colleagues from Ukraine today being present here, and we thank our partner from European Educational Research Association for facilitating this invitation. Yes. GE is a fairly formal network of formal structures. We recognize that all learning, including policy learning, is of course most fruitful when it's built on strong relationships. In GE, we network people as well as structures. So we are particularly delighted that along with those well-versed and experienced in global education, we have people here today from a variety of sectors not yet as engaged in global education as that might become. We see this Congress as a space for networking and for acclaiming the new declaration, exploring important themes and topics in global education, giving space for sector-specific and intersectoral engagement, and for moving from good to great and from many to all. The German poet Johann Wolfgang von Goethe once said, "The one who does not see the world in his friends does not deserve that the world learns about him." So, during this Congress, explore the world in the colleagues and friends you meet here, and find friends in the world of global learning. Welcome on behalf of GE. We hope that you will make new connections that will be fruitful for the time to come. Thank you.